We're in Atlanta, and I just watched
Yes.
you look very passionate in a pickup truck,
Maybe
running
a little
after
angry.
and
But I like the way- I like the
passionate,
way-
angry. You know, all those things a father feels when
Yeah.
they're concerned for their child. Tell me who you play.
I play Keller Dover, and great name. I love Keller Dover. It's good for me practicing my R's. Keller Dover. He's a carpenter. He's married. He has 2 children, and very much near the beginning of our story, his daughter goes missing. And not only my daughter, but our friends on Thanksgiving Day, that's Terrence Howard and Viola Davis's daughter, also go missing. So the story, which is a thriller really, is very much about the drama of these families dealing with, you know, a missing child, and really what lengths you would go to, you know.
Get that child back.
Exactly.
So why yes to this role? What was it about this guy that you really liked?
I feel like the story in general and the cast that was assembled around this movie and the director, first and foremost, I had worked with on the previous movie I'd done. So I have a relationship with Denny, who's the director on this, who I love and I think is brilliant. And the character himself, there's a silence, a quietness to him in the job that he does, a sense of observation and then also like immediate sense of violence when things, you know, when he has to act or even when he's not supposed to. A real contradiction in someone's personality that I thought was really human and also something that I wanted to explore. So those 2 things were intriguing to me.
It just makes me sick to the stomach. You
Yeah.
know, look, every parent on some level has gone through something, losing a child in for a minute in a shopping centre. I actually, Oscar at one point went missing for about 20 minutes. It felt like 3 days. You know, even going back to that is just sickening for any parent. You know, having done all the research that I've done for this, and I've done quite a lot, it is honestly, obviously, one of the most horrific things that can ever happen to a person, to a family. It's devastating. So, you know, it's something obviously that is difficult to play, but it's you know, also very human. And this is, yes, it does happen, and I think the writer and the director, to me, are really showing the human side of this story.
We eavesdropped on one of the scenes where you were kind of holding Hugh back, and Hugh obviously is a very just passionate father and very upset father.
Yes.
You know, in your own personal life, you're a godfather, your sister has beautiful kids. Can you relate to kind of what he's going through in his character, and from your perspective, kind of having to deal with this guy?
Yeah, I mean, this movie is in the end about, you know, a guy who kind of takes the law into his own hands, and then I am the law, so he has to deal with me, and I deal with him. But
that feeling of desperation, you know?
yes, that feeling of desperation is actually somewhat in the character I'm playing right now, very similar to my own life. You know, you end up when you're dealing with a subject like this, particularly if you're a detective,
getting personally involved.
you get personally involved, and they become, you know, you become connected to these kids in a way that's very emotional, and in one way or another, I think about that often. That's constantly like my motivation are the children I know and love in my life.
I'm gonna give away a little bit of a set secret because I've been watching you, and you eat like every 2 hours. First off, and Jake, that's the one thing Jake said is he's so envious of your breakfast. He drinks coffee, and you have like this huge meal.
Oh, by the way, I do coffee as well.
Are you training? Are you training for X-Men?
Yeah.
Or is this just because you're such a perfect male specimen that you just eat
No,
every
I'm training
2 hours?
I'm training for X-Men. No, there's no particular. I mean, I think my character, it does help that he's quite strong because he is his own man, and he is someone who you have to believe is capable of taking the law into his own hands.
Yeah.
But does he have to eat every 2 hours
It's
chicken
amazing.
breast
I've
and
never
steamed
seen that.
spinach?
Like,
No.
You had like a sweet potato in there in between scenes, like just going at it.
It's disgusting.
I thought-
Everywhere, Denis comes up and goes, "You need half hour. You are eating." I said, "No, man, I'm fine." Shoved the sweet potato in the back of my mouth and let's shoot. And this cast, I mean, Melissa Leo, Viola Davis, Terrence Howard, Maria Bello, Jake,
Crazy.
Paul Dano. I mean, it is. Every time I saw an announcement, I was just like, this is just like Christmas, you know. He and I sort of play the leads, and I absolutely love working with him. I do, on every level. He is a spectacular actor.
he's a wonderful guy, and hanging around him is great, and he's game. Like, he's game for, he's not just walking around being positive, like performing.
Yeah.
He actually is, and when it's time to focus, he focuses, and he's ready to go really deep into these scenes. And to me, as an actor, working with him,
Admirable.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's surprising to people that people can be so kind.